All right, good morning, YouTube. First trip with the whole family, the kids. Of course, as you may remember from our previous videos, Consuelo and I did the maiden voyage. All the kids are going to come, and it's been a hustle and bustle to get the boat ready. Had to go to DMV for work and some other things, and spent a whole bunch of time there. And so it's been kind of a struggle to get everything ready to go. And anyway, so here we go. All right, we got her in the water. That's my friend Mark right there, getting ready. His first time on the boat too. I'll check back in with you when we're on the lake.
All right, first trip of the day. First time on Lost Creek. My friend Mark outfished me as usual.
Yeah.
First one.
First one, biggest one. So far, the most.
Okay, all right. Enough bragging there. All right, very good, Mark.
All right.
This one's going in the frying pan, right?
Yes, sir. This is a frying pan.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, Bo, how you doing?
Good.
He had a ham sandwich for lunch. I told him I'd do him a solid. He didn't want spaghetti, which is what we're eating. So I says, hey, you don't fight with your sister so much, and I'll make you what you want for dinner. He's waiting for his chips. I'm going to get that for him next.
I'm eating the crumbs.
Okay, he's a big fan of the ham sandwiches. Anyway. All right. Hi, say hi, Isabella.
Hi.
She's on YouTube. We're a YouTube family, I guess.
Got the Starlink going.
Connie said the Starlink is running good now, so we got internet, dinner. Stove does a good job. It's a little slow, but it gets the job done. Boiling sketty's a lot of work. And there's the dog. He's miserable. He does not like the boat.
It's also nice that the stove runs on gas instead of electric, so you don't run your batteries down.
Yeah. Save on power. And nice evening, a little breezy. Just picked up this afternoon. All right. Well, as you can see, the sun's going down here at Lost Creek. It's been a good day. The kids showed up about, 4 with Mom after she picked them up from school. And my friend Mark stepped off the boat, and they stepped on at the dock, and yeah, we've been just anchored up here and relaxing. Had dinner, spaghetti dinner, which worked out real well. And first time we'd ever boiled water on the boat and all that. And I haven't done dishes yet, so you can see. That's the dog's food. We didn't eat that. That's the dog's food. But anyway, the pot, we boiled water, and did real good. Slow, but it's a small stove, so can't expect much. And I did dishes. Not yet. The kids are chilling in the bedroom. Yeah. I gotta put my anchor light up. Still gotta do that. Hey YouTube, good morning. Saturday. It's windy. It was windy all last night. We drug anchor a couple times, just a few feet. Nothing major, but the anchor alarm went off, so we had to get up and check things out, make sure everything was okay. It just reset and went back to bed. The wind hasn't died off. Normally the wind blows a little bit in the afternoons, generally speaking, at this lake, and then that's it. Well, not today. It's still blowing all night long, and then right now. These phones, they don't do a great job of picking up the size of waves. I've heard other sailor YouTubers say that. And yeah, it's true. I mean, it's nothing extreme, don't get me wrong, but these waves are bigger than they probably appear on your screen. Got some bass fishermen out there trying to catch a bass. Kind of a little cold for that right now, I would imagine, but anyway. So we got the Victron. We're down to 56%. So last night we went to bed, we switched over to battery power, took shower, Had the HVAC system running all night long, keep the cabin warm. Made coffee this morning, and like I say, so it took us down to about, right now it's at 56, but actually it was at 57 a few minutes ago. We got some bunch of devices charging and whatever, but anyway, I was pretty happy with that. So, and the kids are relaxing, playing video games. Hi guys.
Hello.
And you can see here where we drug. So normally, you see the lines here. Normally the width of that line is only about 2/3 of what it is. Because we were being drugged backwards, you know, so the boat moved backwards, so the line is thicker than it normally would be. Because once again, we were dragging. That's where we set our anchor. And then the wind's blowing this way, and you can see we kind of swing back and forth and drug a little bit. But according to my anchor alarm, I only drug probably about 10 feet at the most, so it wasn't too bad. And it drug at two different, I think twice it drug. And so we were able to, you know, check it out. And it just reset and we went back to bed. You know, they drag a little bit, then they hook, and then everything's good. But yeah, this lake's just a hard lake to anchor in. It's just not a lot of good bottoms here. Anyway, all right, I'll check in with you guys later. Yeah, so the other thing about this particular lake that makes it kind of difficult is it's a reservoir. So there's submerged stumps everywhere because they logged this off before they filled it up. Well, they left, you know, there's stumps everywhere. And we learned the hard way that you don't anchor. We know one area, because we've seen it extreme low waters, where it's just a semi-muddy, rocky bottom. Every other part of this lake, as far as I know, is just full of stumps. And if you anchor, there's a good chance that you're not going to get your anchor back. And especially if you anchor overnight where the boat's, you know, going back and forth and swinging, whatever. So yeah, we learned that lesson the hard way, and you know, it cost us about, I think, $200 and some odd to replace our anchor gear because we wrapped it around a stump. My brother-in-law actually came up in his boat and was able to salvage some of it, so I got some of the parts back, but still, it was a bummer. Lesson learned. We know, as I said before, that this particular part of the lake, we've seen it at extreme low water, and we know this is, you know, there's no stumps here. Just the bottom is not ideal for anchoring, but it's the best you're going to get at this particular lake as far as I know. So anyway, that's the story on that anchoring situation at Lost Creek Lake in Oregon. So if you ever come here, be advised. All right, update. So this lake kind of, it's a flooded kind of canyon, I guess you could say. Anyway, there's a part of it that's kind of narrow. Trying to get away from that wind. In my previous video, it's pretty windy, and we troll for trout, and trolling and fighting the wind is kind of a pain. So anyway, gone up the canyon, it's made a difference. Got a rod, let's see here. This is a Scotty Downriggers. I got that from the boat boat manufacturer when we ordered the boat. We ordered it with the Scotty Downrigger equipment. Comes in handy for fishing for trout, which we do a lot in our local area. We also go to Puget Sound and fish for salmon as well, and use downriggers there. That's the generator. Carry that. Sometimes we need to boost up our batteries a little bit. We're using a lot of power. And then, yeah. That right there is the cove where I lost my anchor. I told you there's a lot of stumps in this lake. Well, that cove right there is where we lost our anchor. So, lesson learned, not do that again. Yeah, I got the motor on autopilot. It does really well. Boat just holds a course heading, and there's a tie bar that connects the kicker to the main motor. So, yeah. The R25 didn't have that. It had like a remote steering system. This system's much better. And yeah, so I'll check back in with you when we catch a fish. So this lake, it's a reservoir and it's a flooded canyon, and so we're trying to escape that wind. We decided to come up where it's more narrow, which was a big help. It's a lot easier to handle the boat, a lot less wind in this tight canyon here, so that was a good move. All right, so fishing's been slow, but it's lunchtime, so kids are having their barbecue potato chips and turkey sandwich. Is that what it was?
What turkey are you talking about?
The kind of meat is a turkey.
Oh, are you talking about this turkey? I think it's ham.
Is it ham? Okay, ham. I don't know. We have a couple different kinds of meat on board, so I wasn't sure. All right, so lunch is good. The dog even got a little bit of sandwich. Yeah. Good times. The wind is much better back in the canyon here, in the narrow part. Yeah. Fishing's just kind of slow today. Oh well, can't have it all. I'll give you guys a quick little tutorial of how the autopilot works. So there's a station up on the helm by the fish finder to control the autopilot. You also have this little remote control here too, so let's just say that I decide that I want the boat to go a different direction. If it's currently on a setting, you just take the remote, hit the red button, that cancels out the setting. Now I decide I want the boat to go that direction, I just hold the remote level and push the button, and then you can see the boat starting to steer. The motors are turning. And then once it gets its helming, then it automatically straightens itself back out. It's got some wind, so it's compensating for the wind right now. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, do it again. I don't want to go this direction anymore. Cancel that one out. And then I want the boat to go upstream. Set that. Now starts turning again. That's a pretty good job. We've had some pretty good wind. It has its limitations, of course, but really it does. It's a lot better than hand steering. I've had my old boats in the past where you had to manually steer the trolling motor all the time. It's a lot of work, so this makes life a lot easier. Just point, and then the boat goes wherever you want it to go. And again, the two motors are connected by that tie rod right there. So, yeah. Looks like that rod might have a fish on it. I better go get the kids. All right, so Bo's reeling in a fish. Hopefully this one stays on the line. We've had quite a few of them spit the hook today. Let's see how we do. Think it's a big one, Bo?
Probably.
Probably. Hey, it's optimism. I like optimism. So let's do the camera and the net simultaneously. There we go. There we go. So, okay, just aiming right towards the net, Bo. Best you can. Oh, here we go.
Finally.
Wow.
After 2 attempts.
Finally got one. Let's set him down there.
Looks like pretty average.
Pretty average, yeah. Just your run-of-the-mill Lost Creek trout. All right. All right. Well, Bo, first fish. Oh. Whoa! All right, throw him over unless you want to keep him. I don't think you like to eat fish, do you?
Yeah, I think.
All right, throw him overboard. Bye, fishy.
Bye.
And away he goes.
Go to Southern California. I don't think you're alone.
As many of you probably noticed, I've been letting fish go. We haven't been keeping anything. And I need to realize that I got a 9-year-old boy whose appetite is growing exponentially. And I have on my desktop computer, I've got a Google Drive, boat food inventory. And I've not really updated that food inventory list to reflect a 9-10-year-old boy. So I'm gonna have to start keeping some fish because our food inventory for as long as we're gonna be up here is getting a little on the low side. So I'm gonna start keeping some of these fish and eating them just so we have enough food. So Dad needs to update his boat inventory because he's not a little 3-year-old kid anymore. Anyway, so pressure's on to catch fish. All right, so we made it as far up the canyon as this boat can go. We're at what I call the Y. It's where I think it's like the South Fork of the Rogue River and the regular Rogue River kind of come in. It forms like a Y. Anyway, that's that right up ahead is where those two bodies of water come together. The two, so as I said, the Rogue River and the South Rogue River, if I'm not mistaken, combine. And you can go a little bit further up. I used to in my old heavy gauge welded aluminum boat. It gets kind of skinny, and this boat ain't that kind of boat. So this is as far as we go. But yeah, that's kind of the end of the line. Real pretty up here. Haven't seen anybody. It's all got it all to ourselves. Anyway, we gotta get back to trying to catch a fish for dinner because, as I said before, yeah, food inventory is a little low with this growing boy. So yeah, you can kind of see now it's all coming into sight there. The cover right there, that's like I think that's the South Fork, and then that's just the Rogue River if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, all right, well, I got to get this boat turned around. I'm single-handed right now, so.
Okay, Bella got her first fish of the day. Bo caught quite a few, but now Bella's awake from her nap, and we are going to eat that one for dinner.
First fish for Bella. Yay.
Look. Yeah, good job, Bella.
Thank you.
Are you gonna have some for dinner?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is the first time she's ever held a fish.
Yeah, she's usually scared to hold the fish. So
Pretty good, huh?
awesome.
All right.
Maybe she can go salmon fishing this year.
Yeah. Okay, now we can.
All right, Isabella, she got another fish. This is the second one she's caught. It's the bigger of the two. Pretty happy about that. She's holding fish now. She's a fish girl. All right. Thanks for camera, Ugo.
You're welcome.
All right, fast forward to now. It's dinner time, and I told you earlier that I was had to catch some fish for dinner because our food supply is a little bit low, and I got to adjust my grocery inventory for a 9-year-old boy. Anyway, my wife made in the oven some trout we caught earlier. Right there. So yeah. It's pretty good, macaroni and cheese. Kids are eating chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese.
Do these Bonjour.
All right.
So I'm sitting on the bow of the boat. The kids were just up here with me, enjoying the sunset. So we just had dinner. And it's a little breezy and chilly, so I brought a blanket up here. And now it's perfect. I can enjoy the beautiful scenery and stay warm. Have a nice little after dinner drinky. That is a perfect evening.
Good morning, YouTube. It's Sunday morning. Checking back in with y'all. The wind was very light last night, like maybe 5 miles an hour, so the boat was super smooth, no anchor dragging things or anything to deal with. Yeah, very relaxing, slept good. Wife slept good, kids slept good. Anyway, as you remember from yesterday's segment, this boat has an autopilot, and any of you boaters will know all boats are a compromise, you know. There's always trade-offs to be had, and this is no exception. The autopilot's great. However, the autopilot does use power. It is a pump that controls the hydraulic steering system, and well, that takes electricity, so that draws from our house bank, which is like 650 amp hours. But still, that's a bucket that needs to be refilled, and it doesn't use all 650 amp. We fished for about 7 or 8 hours, and I couldn't tell you how many total, you know, amps it used or whatever, but it uses a fair amount. So it got a solar panel, as you can see right there. Probably need to add another one because we're big power consumers. Starlink takes power, Autopilot takes power, everything takes power. So I think I might. Ranger, one of the employees has suggested putting a solar panel on top of our roof rack, which I might do that because I need to keep this area open for, like, we have a stand-up paddle board and stuff that my wife really likes. So I need to kind of keep a spot empty for that sort of thing. So I don't know. I got to figure all that out. But anyway, so what I'm getting to with all this is that's where, see that Honda generator running away there? Well, it's recharging our house batteries. The other thing that I forgot to mention is this boat's considered the luxury edition, so it uses a central heating and air system. So it's actually using electricity to run lake water, in this case, through the HVAC systems, kind of like a heat pump sort of thing on a house, I guess you could say. It heats in the winter time and cools in the summertime, and that takes power to run the water pumps and all that. So, you know, that's a drain too. If you go to bed with your battery bank fully charged, so far if we're at 100% on the Victron gauge. When we wake up in the morning after taking showers with a hot water heater and running the HVAC system, it'll be down to about, 60%, so about a 40% drop overnight, charging cell phones, as I say, taking showers and running the HVAC system. And of course, ambient temperature plays into that too. The colder it is, the harder the system has to work. So there's a lot of variabilities there. But anyway, the other version of this boat they make, it's called the Northwest Edition. It just uses some sort of diesel heater. I think it's a Webasto, if I'm not mistaken, is the brand. Those don't use any power at all. But we intend to use this boat in Shasta Lake in the summertime, things of that nature, where having an air conditioner is really nice. As a matter of fact, we were in Victoria, Canada last summer, and it was like 90 degrees. It was really hot for that area. And we had our air conditioner. This is on our R25, which is also luxury. And we were in our cabin and enjoying the air conditioner, and everybody was just sweltering in their boats. So I really like having air conditioners, but as I said, everything on a boat's a trade-off. So with the central heating and air, it just consumes a lot of power. So anyway, it's a trade-off. So anyway, that's it for this segment. We're gonna get fishing here in a little bit, and I'll check in with you.
First fish of the day. Smile for the video, Bo. He's holding on to it. He's a flopper. Yeah, Bo got the first one. All right, cool. Good job, Bobo. Yeah, that's the idea.
There's an old school jet boat right there. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Shooting a rooster tail. Hey, dropped his rooster tail back down. When I was a kid, used to see those out here all the time. Probably has a big 454, 460 or something. Lots of bass boats out today. It must be a bass fishing tournament or something. They're flying through here. There's a whole bunch more back up in there. I don't know. Don't usually see that many bass boats around here. All right, the kids decided they wanted to do some swimming. We got tired of catching fish, so we pulled up the lines and we're headed back to the anchorage. It's a little bit busier today than it was yesterday. More boats on the water. Nicer weather, I guess. Brings them in. Just running on the 9.9 right now. right, YouTube. The kids are now swimming.
After
It's
4
in
minutes.
50-degree water. It took them like 10 minutes to make their mind up to do it. Okay, Bo, now it's your turn. Your sister showed you how it was done, so now you give it a shot. There ain't no way I'm getting in that water with you. You guys are on your own.
I might regret this.
It's easier if you just jump in and get it over with. Just let go.
About this YouTube. I'm not gonna do it. It's just too cool for me.
All right, Bo can't handle it. His sister seems to be doing pretty good, so.
Yeah.
All right, how is it, Bella?
Okay. I need to pee myself to do that.
All right.
Can I get in the dinghy now since I'm wet?
If you want, yeah, that's fine.
Oh yeah. If I ever need to pee, I'm going in that water so I can handle it.
Well, that ain't gonna warm up a massive body of water, so.
For like my area, well, for like
2 seconds maybe.
If you have a wetsuit on, maybe.
And I don't have one.
That's what divers do. They pee in their wetsuits.
I'm trying to be like a diver.
Okay, so now Isabella wants to show you how she jumps into this freezing cold water. So go show YouTube how it's done, Bella.
How it's done, Bo, you also need to watch. Because if you're scared of push you out the water, I'm going to push you in the water. Okay, if you're scared of pool water and lake water, then watch this. This is how it's done. Watch.
Okay, show us how we're done. We're all waiting.
Okay, Russian kid. We all know you're Alaskan and Russian. What? I'm not even...
Well, there she did. She did it. All right, good job, Bella.
like a
Kudos. Good job.
kid.
Even the dog's excited about what you did. Yay! All right, well, another day in the books. It's 9:10, and had a good day of fishing. Fishing was a little better today than it was yesterday, I think. So, caught a few extras to take home, and it was a good time. Getting ready to watch the sunset on the bow. It's a nice evening. Light breeze, nothing too crazy. Looks like out there's a boat. Last boat of the day other than us. We're not going in. We're spending the night here, of course, but that's the second boat ramp at this lake. And yeah. Nice evening.
All right, we are just sitting on the bow of the boat and we are stargazing. It's really cool. We just saw a satellite go across the sky, and we were just talking about how this would have been a really cool spot to see the northern lights a few weeks ago. If we would have been here, we would have seen them. You could still see off in the distance. It's still bright towards the coast. You gotta love, you know, the summertime when it's almost 10 o'clock and there's still some light in the sky. But it's still dark enough for us to see these really cool stars. What do you guys think? Do you think this is cool?
Very cool. This was my idea.
Yeah, it was Bella's idea, and we have a nice warm sleeping bag on us, and we're sitting on the awesome little seat we have on the front of the boat, and we get to really see some cool stars.
Yes, sir.
It's pretty awesome.
All right, good morning, YouTube. So last night was very calm, very little wind. We sat up here and watched the stars. Hey, Bella.
Hello.
Right on that seat. How you doing?
Good.
Did you like watching the stars last night up here?
Yeah.
Was that fun?
We saw a shooting star.
Yeah, we saw a shooting star. You're right about that. Yeah, so that was pretty good. We had a blanket up here, and yeah, from about 9:45 to about 10:15, we sat up here and had a good old time. Anyway, so it's pretty quiet this morning. It's like 9:45-ish. I actually had started the day before. I grabbed my little camera thing here. So, but I was busy taking the dog to the bathroom on the shore in the dinghy. So, it's just all the hustle and bustle. I didn't film that. Anyway, there's one of my previous videos, there's a dinghy ride video where I take the dog to shore up in Hood Canal. So if you want to watch that, check out one of my previous videos. I think it's Alderbrook to Des Moines is the episode name. I can't remember the number. So anyway, we're gonna finish our coffee here. Well, my coffee. She doesn't get to drink coffee, even though she would like to drink coffee. She's a coffee girl, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we'll do a little bit of fishing. We're gonna pull out after the crowds die out. We're gonna pull out ourselves. But I'm not crazy about super busy boat ramps, so we're just gonna hang out here most today. Let everybody get out of the water, and then we will probably be the last one out today. And anyway, it'll be the first time loading the boat on the trailer on a ramp, so that'll be interesting. I'm sure it's very similar to the R25 we had before. I know getting it off the trailer was very similar as far as how deep you had to get the trailer and all the little things that go along with launching a boat. So anyway, I'll give you an update on that. But yeah, so far the R25 compared to the R27, once again, they are both luxury editions. You know, pretty comparable boats. There's differences, of course. The dinette's on different side of the boat and table and all that, so you know there is little differences, but for the most part these boats are pretty similar. You know, this boat has the dinghy lift, which was like huge for us. That's a very nice feature. I really like that. I guess in 2023, if I'm not mistaken, they started offering the dinghy lift on the R25 as well. However, you can't have a kicker because the way the motor, if you go to Ranger Tug's website, you'll notice that the R25, the main engine, the 250, is actually kind of notched into the back of the boat, into the transom. Actually, not the transom, the offshore bracket. I don't know what terminology Ranger uses. Some people call it an extension, a bracket extension, offshore bracket. Anyway, I don't know. But anyway, the thing that the motor mounts to, whatever you want to call it, because the main's notched in there, and the way the dinghy lift works, it really doesn't allow for a 9.9 kicker as far as I know. So anyway, but yeah, the dinghy lift is huge. So if you're into taking dogs to shore and things of that nature, you know, I highly recommend it. It works great. We fish, and you know, you have to, you know, it really doesn't get in the way that much. I mean, there's a little bit of, you know, it's there and you got to steer around it a little bit, but it's really not that bad. It actually, I thought it was going to be worse than it is. It actually, we caught a lot of fish, and I've never once said, gee, I wish that dinghy wasn't there, it's getting in the way. That never happened. So I'm pretty happy with everything, you know. It's working out real well. The one thing we've learned is, of course, we troll for trout, and it's easier to just let Autopilot drive the boat. Well, that consumes electricity, so it's another draw. This boat has 2 refrigerators instead of the 1 refrigerator we had in the R25, and it has the Autopilot. So this boat consumes more power, so yeah, that's something that we've got to adjust to, you know. Maybe not run the Autopilot while we're fishing quite so much, save some power there, I don't know. Like I say, on this lake right here, you know, we just run the generator in the afternoon, and this lake's completely cleared out by 6 o'clock. Everybody's gone home, so you got the whole lake to yourself. You're not disturbing anybody with a generator, you know. If there was people around, I wouldn't run the generator. I don't, you know, try to be respectful of other people's, you know, time on the water or whatever. But if we're just out here by ourselves, like, you know, it's just kind of quiet, so, you know, no problem with the generator in this situation. Anyway, we're gonna finish coffee and probably start doing some fishing. All right, check in with you later. Bye. It's 11:30, and we finally got the lines in the water. The early bird catches the worm, so to speak. Doesn't apply to us, I guess. We like to sleep in too much, but that's okay. We caught plenty of fish yesterday. Anyway, here's a Hey, it's trolling. I like that's the autopilot, which is on, and split screen. It's the chart plotter. I got the radar on. There's a boat right there, and there's that boat you can see off in the distance. Yeah, I just when you go to the ranger school, they teach you to just keep the radar on all the time, so you get proficient at using it. So when you need to use it in fog, you're familiar with it. Hey Bella, say hi.
Hello.
Yeah, nice day today.
So it's lunchtime, and one of my favorite things about the boat is the grill on the back of the boat. We're currently fishing this beautiful cove. So we have all the fishing poles out, a couple on downriggers, and we have this beautiful scenery, and we're making lunch at the same time. I mean, it doesn't get cooler than that. And then after we're done, we can eat back here and maybe catch some fish while we're doing it. That's what I call a good day.
Coming up the canyon here, the narrow part of the lake. There's a nice waterfall. Starts up there and goes all the way down. Can't see most of it because it's covered by trees, but yeah. Cool. All right, YouTube. Well, coming to you from the boat in our driveway. We're back at home, of course. I was gonna record loading the boat and all that and on the trailer, which was the first time for us. And it was, of course, a holiday weekend. And we waited till like 8 o'clock to get off the water. And we got up to the boat ramp, and it was still busy. There were so many boats out there. I really don't like boating on a holiday weekend. It's something we try to avoid as much as possible, with crowds and all that. Most time we boat at that particular lake, we just go in the wintertime when we got it all to ourselves. The colder the weather, the better, because it keeps people away. And of course, this boat can handle those kind of conditions comfortably, so it works out well. We used to have our R27 up there in the wintertime all the time, snowing and all that, and it was great. And anyway, but this was a holiday weekend, warm weather, boats everywhere, and so we got to the boat ramp, and they were just lined up, and there was a lot of people around, and I just, the first time getting the boat on the trailer, floating it onto the trailer, we, of course, loaded it before up at the Puget Sound, but that was with a crane. That's how they do most of that up there, is with a travel lift or a crane of some sort. So anyway, yeah, I just want to be respectful at the boat ramp and do things as fast as possible and get out of everybody's way. And as I just said, first time loading this boat on this trailer in the water, and I didn't, as you boaters will know, every boat trailer combination has its idiosyncrasies and things that, a certain trailer depth to get the thing to load right and all that. I'd never done that on this, so I was like, this is not the time for a YouTube video. I just need to be focused on what I'm doing. And so I just left the camera in my pocket, and we got the trailer in the water, and I just basically kept the depth of the trailer the same as I did on my previous boat, the R27, and kind of use that as a starting point. Well, I learned that is too deep for this particular combination. The bunks don't grab the hole. So I just had my wife, move the boat back a little bit. I pulled the truck about a foot forward, and then she loaded right on perfect. So lesson learned. There's a learning curve to all this, and as I just said, every boat trailer combination has its things that work best, as far as the depth and all that, so, of the trailer. So anyway, lesson learned. Next time it'll be better. And we got out of there in a timely fashion, and got loaded up and headed home, and it was a great great trip overall. As I said, a lot of people, but you know, that's to be expected. And the main reason why we went out on the holiday weekend was because the kids had never been on the boat. So we're like, well, you know, we'll bite the bullet and put up with the crowds this one time, just to get the kids out on the water. As you probably remember from our previous videos, me and Consuelo did the maiden voyage in the Puget Sound. It was just us two. So anyway, this was the kids' big opportunity, and yeah, so it was a good trip overall. The R25, now we've used this boat 2 times, kind of comparing this boat to the R25. This is the R27. Our previous boat was the R25. This boat's a lot nicer boat. I mean, not to say the R25 is not a nice boat, but this boat just has so much more room. You got the back dinette in the cockpit. You got the dinette I'm sitting here right now. Then you got the little seat up on the bow. For a family of 4, it's definitely a more comfortable boat. You know, we made the R25 work and we had a blast with that. And that it has limitations. Family of 4, the holding tank's pretty small, the Blackwater holding tank, and you know, so that kind of limited you about 2, maybe 3 days at the most. This boat has a much larger capacity, and so yeah. As I said in a previous segment, it does use more power. We like to use the Autopilot, and that uses power and, you know, and stuff like that. So recharging batteries, you need to kind of be thinking ahead on how you're going to recharge all those batteries, you know, those 650 amps of lithium, you know, and kind of have a game plan, because if you're using all the accessories on this boat frequently, well, it, you know, goes through power. 2 refrigerators, Autopilot, and, you know, the central HVAC system, which runs off electricity. So it all adds up. So anyway, the power consumption's a little bit higher. I think we're going to add a solar panel to this boat. That will help a little bit. It already has 1 solar panel, but we're going to add a second one, and that should help us a little bit on the power. Buy us time before we have to hit either shore power or some sort of generator or whatever. So that was it was a learning experience. Now we know. And so anyway, the dinghy lift was fantastic. I mean, if you go to shore frequently, you take the dog to the bathroom or just want to walk on the shore, get away from the boat, man, that dinghy lift is worth the money. It's fantastic. We fish the whole trip, and I mean, it's you can fish around it, no problem. You know, it's there, but I never at any point in time said, gee, I wish that dinghy wasn't there when I was handling a fish or dealing with fishing rods. I mean, it's totally doable. So if any of you are on the fence as far as, wow, should I get a dinghy lift or not, and you're a fisherman, and I wouldn't worry about it. It's totally doable, you know. And we had a great time with the fishing and the dinghy and the dog to shore and just the ease of all that. Yeah, we actually had this boat built where the cockpit has a cover, and there's support bars that support that cover. And you can remove those while you're fishing. Those bars, they built this boat with those bars removable. Typically, they don't do that, but we told them we were fishermen, so and they say, well, in that case, we'll make these bars removable. So when you're out there on the water, you can remove them, and they won't be in the way of your fishing. Honestly, it's totally doable, you know. You know, you can work around those bars. It's not that big of a deal. I'll show you the bars I'm talking about. The metal bar right there. Yeah, that metal bar that supports. You can remove that. And like I say, I don't really think it's necessary. You can, you know, just kind of, as you're fighting the fish, just kind of do a hand over hand thing around that bar. Maybe if I was fishing for bigger fish, you know, something like, you know, going like, you know, for big salmon, maybe then I might remove it. Even then, I don't think I would, but we're going to try it. Try fishing without the bars there just to see how it is. But honestly, I think they're probably just going to stay there. And but you don't know till you get something. So, you know, well, lesson learned. It's removable if we need to remove it. And so, yeah. So that was another thing we learned. And so now the cleanup begins. It's kind of a mess in here. So I got to clean everything up and get ready for the next trip. And I'll show you. We just kind of, as I said, the boat ramp was very busy. So we just kind of threw everything. The V-berth becomes just a throw everything when you're in a rush in there and deal with it when you get home kind of deal. So anyway, that's got a lot of laundry and stuff to pick through there and get organized and all that. And a little bit more dishes to do yet. Actually, those dishes need to just go in the house. They need to be washed and put away. We thought we were going to keep that stuff on the boat, but yeah, we learned that, man, I don't really need all that in the boat. So anyway, another thing we learned. The cave where the kids sleep, it's a big old mess. I had to go through all that too. So anyway, yeah, got my laundry basket. It's what I use to take stuff in and out of the boat when I'm getting things ready. And I'll be using that quite a bit today. And yeah, so that's a wrap. Thanks for watching my video. I kind of just started doing this as a way to do, just kind of conveniently store home movies. YouTube, we have it set up to where we can watch YouTube on our TV in the living room, and thought, well, we'll just put our home videos on YouTube, and that way if we ever want to watch them on a whim, they're right there on YouTube. And then I thought, well, I'll make them public. Maybe other people will enjoy this stuff we do, and a lot of you seem to. I've got quite a few subscribers and likes and views and all that. So hey, I'm glad people are enjoying this, and well, like and subscribe, and we'll keep on cranking them out. Anyway, all right. Well, you guys, this is it. I'll talk to you next time around. Bye.